Hey folks, welcome back. Sam Antares again, and I've gotten my hiccups cured. Sorry about skipping the intro last time, but I'm recording all these as a single sitting, and I kind of forgot. So, from last time, we've now beaten 5 of the 6 reprogrammed Light Masters, and now we have to take on Fireman, the hot guy himself. He's got one of the tougher stages in the game, as well as a really nasty battle. More because Fireman's a battle of attrition, but we'll see that later. Apparently the game doesn't think he's that bad because he's only worth 60,000, as opposed to the 100,000 Gutsman was. And you saw how well I did against him. Something I tend to forget about these turrets here is that they are kind of a proximity sensor. Since I tend to not stop moving, I really never noticed it. I just figured they just popped up, but no, you specifically have to get within a certain distance. Whoops. So, Iceman's weapon, the Frost Slasher that we just got, is a little unique in that it does not actually damage most enemies. Instead, what it does is freeze them in place, and it is so cold that it can even freeze a jet of flame. And how does it work? Well, it's video games, don't question it, but also, if I had to actually give an explanation, I would say that this is some kind of flammable gas, and that you just flash freeze it so quickly, kind of like turning it into fog, which you then solidify. So, yeah, still a stretch. That'll put me back at full health, but I'm barely hurt at all. I'd probably take more damage trying to get to it. Also, once you freeze an object or an enemy, you can stand on it and use it as a temporary platform. This is actually a really strong weapon. Those flame jets there kind of work like the shock hazards from Megaman's level. I think they do a little more damage, but I don't remember offhand. Also, if you don't mind the fact that it's a little bit cheap, the Ice Slasher is one of the best weapons. But as I said before, it has literally no kill power except against a couple of bosses. But as a utility item, it is second to none. Yeah, these flame balls here can be killed, but they respawn continuously, so there's not much point to it. You're better off just trying to get out of the area. Also, gonna admit I wasn't intending to, but I just managed to freeze one of those flame geysers in midair. You can do that. Or rather, not in midair. Sorry, the reverse. Scratch that, reverse it. I froze it while it was still inside its platform. Okay, now that can be gotten through without taking a hit, but I'd rather not risk it, plus there's a good chance to show the magnet beam. This was a tool Dr. Light created after the fact to help Megaman, which I guess explains why you only get it midway through the game. It creates temporary platforms of hard light, or maybe magnetic force fields given the name. And what that means in-game is that you can use it to create a platform. An interesting thing about it, though, is that, as I mentioned before, Megaman builds momentum while he's in the air. While you're standing on a magnet beam platform, you are technically in the air as far as the game is concerned. Meaning that if you stand on a magnet platform for too long, you will practically teleport to the ground. Okay, so that was quick and relatively painless. Like I've said a couple of times, the stages themselves are pretty short. In fact, I'm getting through the entire game in a little bit over an hour, and that's with taking some time between videos to check stuff. And take care of some chores around the house, because, well, all of my chores are in the living room today, and my roommates were there and I didn't want to disturb them. Okay, so I have Fireman's weapon. He is one of the aforementioned bosses that the Ice Slasher can hurt. And also, I said right before I came in here that he's a battle of attrition. That's because while his primary weapon is easy enough to dodge, it has a secondary effect that makes things a lot trickier. Also, he fires very quickly, but as an interesting quirk in the programming, he will only return fire. He will not shoot first. So one strategy, which I just employed there, was basically to dodge when you can and trade hits with him and hope one of you runs out of health first. This does not work later on. Oh, spoiler alert. Alright, well, I have now beaten all of them, and in yet one more iteration of not in the later games, Dr. Wily actually has to be selected rather than starting a stage. And he is worth 200,000 points. So Dr. Wily is worth 2 Gutsmen. Not sure whether that's impressive or sad. Also, I think my ear's bleeding. Yeah, I'm going to fix this before I start Mega Man 2 so that y'all get to hear the beautiful sound that Wily's capsule makes as it flies. Also, I can clearly just run past him, but I have misplaced issues with his brethren. Also, as you recall, the Ice Beam freezes enemies in their place, including breaking physics. And now that you are helpless, eat plasma. Not worth it. Yeah, those little colored balls, red, blue, pink, whatever color they happen to be in the stage, are points trophies. They do absolutely nothing to benefit you during the stage itself, and since points are just bragging rights, for example, hey, I've got 709,000. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So these blocks here, you can move away with the Guts Arm or blast them with the Elect Beam. Something that might work. Let me check. I don't think so, but the Hyper Bomb may work as well. No. So the Demolition Tool cannot be used to remove blocks. Why did Dr. Light build Bomb Man again? Okay, these Flame Jets can be cleared out with good timing, or you can freeze them. In fact, if you do it right, you can kind of use them as platforms. I did not do that right, however. So let's try this again. No, not quite. There we go. As I said, the Ice Slasher, while it's questionable if it's a weapon, given there's only a couple of things in the entire game it can actually harm, it's very useful. And I'm going to use my nifty little... Whoa! So, yeah, no. I'm not going to question my good fortune there and just get out of here before I die. Ow. That was rude. Don't do that, please. Also, I suppose as a sort of subtle nod to it being created by Dr. Light, the Magnet Beam does not change Mega Man's color when you equip it. You eat it. You eat that. You eat that. And I am grabbing this health pickup since there are no spikes to accidentally fall on while I do so. Just a tip, a minor tip involving the Magnet Beam. If you fire it at your full jump height, it will actually be too high off the ground for you to land on. Oh, right. That doesn't work here. That is useless. Okay, that block just crapped out another block. Yeah, video games, don't question it. And, oh look, bullet bills and spikes. My favorite. You know, I should have You know what? I am gonna do something a little different. Chill. That was punishment for the pun, wasn't it? Luckily for me, this is actually the checkpoint. Oh boy, and I have made it this far without using a save state, but jeez, that is tempting right now. You know what? No. I made it this far playing fair. I'm gonna... Oh dear, sweet... Oh god, oh dear, Amaterasu, please protect me. This is a Capcom game. I can invoke her, right? You know what? Time to use the Magnet Beam as it was meant. What in the... Oh, you have got to be fragging kidding me. Oh well. You win this round, Wily. Round 2! Fight! Ah, hell. Just enough to get him to spawn. Bye-bye. Here, have a few more. Here, have some more scratches on your paint for me. Oh boy. Yes, sir, that was wrong. I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me. Oh boy. I suppose I had that coming. Nice. Wasn't even trying for the 2 for there. Okay, so yeah, this is actually Dr. Wily's fortress, complex, whatever you want to call it. It's not officially named in this one. Later on, it'll be called Skull Island. No relation to Peter Jackson. Although, you know, how much sense would it have made if the Big Ape was actually a robot the whole time? Gotta wonder. Okay, you don't. I'm just trying to make you laugh at this point because I know my voiceovers have probably put a few of you to sleep by now. Okay, that's twice now. Is this hallway just glitched? I mean, once was weird. Twice, I start questioning things. Oh, hey, right back where we just were. Let's try to not walk on the steps on the spikes this time. I do not have spike shoes. I wonder if Mario let me borrow his. They're friends. At least I think they are. Mario invited him to join Smash. Okay, I want... Maybe the death by my own magnet beam was the game telling me to play fair this time. So, okay, I'll play nice. That is, unless this guy decides he wants to get me too close to the spikes. Then all bets are off. Okay, so... Here is where I mentioned before that weapon capsules respawning is important. I have more than enough magnet power to get through that room, but I'm just going to reload here. So, bear with me for just about a minute. If that. I'll probably clip this out if I can before posting. Okay, and there we go. This is also where it being important that you need to not jump to full height when firing magnet beam, because I'm going to have to make myself some stairs. Dr. Wily was actually smart here, but not smart enough. This is why he is only second best. P.S. Don't tell Wily he's only second best. It makes him take over the world. Okay, and here's where I'm going to use the infamous pause trick, because this boss is bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to meet one of the most infamous Mega Man enemies. Yellow Devil. Oh, come on. I'm sure some of those didn't even hit me. Okay, that one did. So, yeah. A boss that can kill you before it's even on screen. You see why I have no qualms about cheating here. If this game's going to not play fair, then I won't play fair either. Ow. Okay, my fault. Okay. Let's try that again. So yeah, this thing's weakness is the elect beam. Even if it wasn't, I'd probably be using it anyway. Oh, come on. Because it's got a very wide area, which makes it easier to hit him no matter where he lands. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Jeez. I did say I'm not in practice at this game. It's been, probably a year since I played it all the way through. Still no excuse. I should not die twice even to that one boss. Okay, round 3. Not sure how that one even connected. Yeah, so I just tried to do that. Okay, well, what happens here is I will explain after I die. Okay, so what I was attempting to do is pausing very quickly while a weapon is on contact with an enemy will cause that enemy's invincibility state, if it has one, to reset. This can lead to multiple hits off of projectiles that last on screen longer. If done properly, you can kill Iceman in one shot of the Elect Beam. And the Yellow Devil there in possibly one shot, usually 2. Okay, you know what? I'm going to abort this right here.